Ahead of RSS Chief Dr. Mohan Bhagwat's scheduled visit to the United States for the Oneness Conference in New York City, Madison Square Garden, several organizations have formally objected to his presence. Among these organizations is the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, that is USCIRF. Two of the USCIRF members publicly posted on X making claims about Dr. Bhagwat and the RSS that have been characterized as unsubstantiated and potentially defamatory. Hi, my name is Avatans Kumar, and I'm going to talk about this organization to give you some perspective. The U.S. Congress created USCIRF through the 1998 International Religious Freedom Act, which is IRFA. The Commission, with its 9 members, monitors universal rights to freedom of religion or belief abroad. USCIRF uses international standards to monitor violations of religious freedom globally. The Commission's annual report assesses the condition of religious freedom and instances of violations worldwide. The report also provides policy recommendation to the President, the Secretary of State, and Congress. The Commission is mandated to recommend to the State Department countries in categories such as special watch list and countries of particular concern and entities of particular concern. So what are these categories? The Commission labels countries where the government engages in or tolerates particularly severe violations of religious freedom as countries of particular concern, or CPC. Lesser offending countries where the government engages in or tolerates severe violations of religious freedom are put on State Department's special watch list, that is SWL. So the Commission defines how are these categories defined? The Commission defines particular severe violation of religious freedom, meaning systemic, ongoing, and egregious violations, including violations such as A, torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. B, prolonged detention without charges. C, causing the disappearance of persons by the abduction or clandestine detention of those persons. Or D, other flagrant denial of the right to life, liberty, or the security of persons. Over time, however, the Commission has been criticized for perceived ineffectiveness, partisanship, and contributing to religious tensions. So the Commission's effectiveness is limited because its recommendations are not binding on the State Department, which frequently disregards them. This situation raises questions regarding the reliability and credibility of those recommendations. The State Department possesses its own intelligence resources and is a member of the U.S. intelligence community. For instance, with the exceptions of Algeria and Azerbaijan, the State Department did not adopt USCIRF's 2025 recommendations for the special watch list. This divergence prompts consideration of whether this commission, USCIRF, recommendations aligned with the State Department's own assessments. Even if the U.S. government follows USCIRF's recommendations on CPC, countries of particular concern, that is, it is not obligated to apply any punitive sanctions and offending countries on the offended countries. Countries such as Pakistan, despite being designated as countries of particular concern, were granted national interest waivers. Such waivers mean that any sanctions against the offending country will be contrary to U.S. national interests. USCIRF's recommendations and designations are influenced by domestic partisan politics. Since 2009, the Commission has recommended a country of particular concern (CPC) designation for Nigeria. The Trump administration designated Nigeria as CPC in 2020 during its first term. In 2021, however, the Biden administration removed Nigeria's designation without providing any explanation. In 2025, during its second term, the Trump administration reinstated Nigeria's CPC designation. An example of partisan disagreement and politicization within the USCIRF occurred when Commission criticized reductions to USAID, United States Agency for International Development programs. Republican appointees formally dissented from the statement opposing the USAID cuts, which was supported by Democratic appointees. Many Republicans have also criticized USAID, alleging it is used as a tool for political interference both within the United States and internationally. The comparison of the composition of the Commission has been identified as a source of religious tension. Critics contend that the lack of representation from diverse community religions often leads to the exclusion of their perspectives on issues of religious freedom. Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, which provides the framework for USCIRF's recommendations, protects the freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. It guarantees the right to change religion or belief, to manifest them alone or in community, in public or private, through teaching, practice, worship, and observance, shielding individuals from coercion and discrimination. However, the UDHR does not explicitly protect the right to retain one's religion. Religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Judaism, Taoism, Confucianism, Shinto, and certain tribal religions are considered non-proselytizing. When adherents of these religions seek to protect themselves from aggressive proselytization, such actions are sometimes misinterpreted in reports as violations of religious freedom. For example, in India, the Commission regards anti-conversion laws, which are intended to safeguard citizens' right to retain their religions, as negative factors in its assessments. Such misunderstandings are likely when major religions such as Hinduism, lack representation within the commission. One of the nine commissioners, none represent non-Abrahamic religions or possess background in comparative religion. Hindu Americans and Indians have consistently highlighted this gap in the Commission's reports. Critics have identified several methodological flaws in the Commission's reports. They argue that USCIRF's reports frequently lack macro-level evidence and instead rely on selective or episodic narratives to characterize entire countries. The Commission has no investigative arm, and there is an over-reliance on reports from advocacy organizations that may have their own agendas. Additionally, there is no standardized framework for vetting contributors or for fact-checking the reports. There is no transparency for how the Commission chooses which incidents to highlight in its country report. Some critics contend that the Commission has been an outdated bureaucracy and should have been shut down in 2016, but was infused with funds by Congress to continue employing mediocrities and faceless bureaucrats, thereby offering a platform for nine politically compromised commissioners to build their Beltway network of influence. Thank you.